We are live, correct? All right, well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway for tonight's third race of the full pedal jacket season. A little bit smaller field than we're used to tonight. I think we got 12 cars that are going to be on the grid, but we got some big names, so we are ready for a good show regardless. 175 laps are on tap tonight. A couple of new names, a lot of names you're already familiar with, so we'll see who can get it done this evening. All right. We're going to start going through the grid for tonight's race. You see him in the middle of your screen. Pole sitter tonight is DJ Thomas. That's a really familiar sight for this season. He's been running up front all year long, and he shows no signs of stopping now. He wins the pole. Outside of him is going to be the number 9 of Brady Shue. Brady, another guy who's been up front a lot this year, finds himself in a really good spot for this one. Second row are the Meaden brothers, Scott and Jeff in the 24 and the 72. Some of their highest starts of the season, so we'll see how they use the opportunity. Fifth starting slot goes to Sharon Slate in the 18. Ooh. Sixth is Griffin Williams in the 54. Seventh is, well, it was supposed to be TJ Roberts. He is asked to drop to the back of this field. And I don't know where end of line is. There it is. So actually starting 7th is going to be the former 9th place starter. That's Tyler Bentley. Ran very well at Las Vegas last week. And look for him to give another great performance tonight. 8th starting spot tonight goes to Rit Cadet. Another guy we're kind of waiting on to show his speed. We know he has speed. We'll see if he can get into a rhythm starting tonight. So now the 9th place starter is going to be Colin Bauer. Colin raced at Daytona a couple of weeks ago, started late. Now he's on time. He's ready to see what he can get done. Starting in 10th is Jonathan Hammond in the National Guard Chevrolet. Behind them, last two cars on the grid tonight are Nathan Soren in the 4, a new driver, and the 11 of TJ Roberts. Control car is DJ Thomas. Pace car will make the left turn. 175 laps on tap. What are these drivers going to have in store for us tonight? Green flag is in the air. We're racing at Charlotte. Good jump for Thomas, about a half a car length ahead of the 9 of Brady Shue. He'll pull up in front of him. Field will spread out a little bit as we head down into turn 1. Battle for second. Brady Shue's going to control that spot for the time being as he rides the high line off of 2. Thomas's lead about 3 car lengths as we head down the back, stretching off into 3 and 4 for the first time. First battle is for the 4th position. It's where the 18 of Sharon Slate and the 72 of Meaden find themselves. Car in the wall, I reckon already. It's Meaden. You saw him. Slides to a stop in the infield. He'll get it back going. I think it was only a 1-car incident. I think it may have just been the 72, I think, got loose in front of a couple of cars, stacked them up. He's our first caution of the night. Field paces behind the 20 of DJ Thomas. A little bit different color scheme going for DJ tonight. Rid, if you were talking to me, I couldn't catch it. Never mind. Similar color scheme for Thomas as what he ran last night when we brought you the Sweatona 250. So the pink and black on the 20 of DJ Thomas. Under caution on lap number 3. I believe they're waiting on the pace car. Yep, here he comes. Slowly but surely. He'll pick up the field. A little bit of moving around. Biggest mover is, I believe, Biggest mover right now is actually Nathan Soren. He's up 5 spots to 7th position. Tyler Bentley's up 4 spots. He's made his way into the top 5. Expect the 55 to be very, very fast. He was laying down some very, very good practice laps earlier on this week. So several guys in this field that are very fast. This is a really good opportunity for several guys to get in the win column and maybe steal one away from some guys we are missing tonight. So it's good to see some different names up near the front. Gives me something else to talk about, which is always good. See if we have any takers on pit road this early. I doubt it.
It's hard to tell. Like we were talking about the Sweat Tona that we hosted last night. Had a couple guys pit early and ended up being some of the ones who were out there at the end.
Yeah, well, Brady Shue thought about it. Makes better of it. Another new paint scheme for the 9. I don't know how many paint schemes he has, but it's 3 in 3 weeks, so.
If he has enough for all 25 races, I will be astonished.
I will be impressed. New paint scheme on the Jonathan Hammond machine as well, I believe. The National Guard colors.
Some guys decided to switch it up a little bit and might work in their favor. Maybe give them a little bit of good luck.
Field continuing to pace around the pace car. Cautions a little bit longer than they were last night. Because of the nature of the track, we don't have the blessing of short cautions at 1.5 miles. We'll see if maybe we can get into a little bit of a green flag run. Expect this race to run a little bit like last week. Maybe not quite as strung out.
Yeah, once
but expect definitely.
tires...
Yeah, expect definitely for at least a few cars to break from the field, but I'm confident it'll still be some good racing. We should get one to go right here, I think, maybe. Can't see their prompt screens that tell them when it's one to go, so.
Should be here. Now, I think the story of this race is going to be how everybody can handle coming out of turn 4. It seemed to be the killer for a lot of guys here in the practice that we've done so far. If you can get it to stick coming out of turn 4 and maybe get a good run through the tri-oval, might be able to make a couple clean passes there and then carry your speed onto the backstretch.
Yeah, well, with the way the cars are set up now, they didn't quite used to be set up like this. They used to have a similar package to the super speedways, so relied more on pack racing. Now, they've tweaked it just a little bit to where now you have to carry some speed, make some passes like you would on a normal 1.5 miles, more like the racing we saw last week. So, field paces off at turn 2. We'll get the green flag next time on lap number 6 of 175. Still DJ Thomas. He set down a very good qualifying lap. He's been very good in practice all week. So no surprise to see the number 20 out front here again this week.
Yeah, he's been running some really fast laps. We've seen him do it in practice. He's obviously ran the pole position in qualifying, and with Steve and some of the faster guys that we've seen dominate these races, these 1.5 mile tracks out before out of the contention, it's going to be pretty interesting.
Field comes off of turn number 4. They'll see the green flag here at the restart zone. They hit it, green flag. We're back underway on lap 6. An incredible start for the 20. And in turn for the 24 behind him, while the battle for second put it off into turn number 1. As Scott Meaden is going to take second spot from Brady Shue on the restart. He clears the 9. 9 crosses over, looks back down low. Here comes Tyler Bentley. He is right on the back bumper of the Kelly Blue Book machine. Now Meaden's in the wall. Let's see if he can hang on to her. I think he did. So still Thomas. Brady Shue has made it up to his back bumper. We got about a 5-car breakaway at the front of the field. Thomas, Shue, Bentley, Hammond, and Nathan Soren.
It's kind of what I expected to see early on in the race. It's going to be a different strategy between the guys wanting to run up front and maybe get a gap, and then some guys sitting in the back and maybe wanting to save some tires here.
Definitely, and oh boy, a little bit of a slide back there around the Soren area. They're gonna hold on to it though. Brady Shue's content to sit right on the back bumper, the number 20. Well, right as I say that, he drops down low. Can he make the move? Not quite. Ooh, may have bumped the 20 a little bit. 20 holds the lead for now, though. And Nathan Soren shot out of a cannon. He's up to third and flying right now. And don't look down. Sharon Slate is back there in the 6th position, along with Jeff Meaton in the 72. And they are not far off this lead pack. Ooh, maybe a little contact there. Soren is really aggressive. He hits the 9. No caution, no caution. Your call. I mean, it's... I got it.
It's about what like I said, coming out of turn 4 here, guys are going to get loose. They're going to end up sliding up the track going in that tri-oval. In testing, going in here about lap 9 to lap 11 is where these tires really start to fall off. Guys are going to have to start lifting. And if you're battling for position, sometimes you're just trying to get that extra 1/10 of a second or 100th of a second coming out of that corner. And it can lead to issues like that.
So Thomas retains the lead. Brady Shue is still on the lead lap, so by no means out of this really, really early on in this race still. So don't count him out. Meanwhile, battle for the lead. Thomas blocks down to the blue line. Can't quite make it stick, and here comes Jonathan Hammond for the race lead. Slides up just a little bit. It's going to let Thomas carry some speed off 4. It's going to be no match for the bottom line, though. I clicked once too many times. Look at me, doing it again. There's Brady Shue. Doesn't look like much damage on that car. A little bit of rear end damage, so that was... He got hit a ton by the 4 machine, so... Still a battle for the lead. Thomas up top, Hammond on the bottom. And they are followed by Tyler Bentley and Jeff Meaton. Content to ride back there about 4 car lengths back of this battle for the lead. Still side by side, they're 1 and 2. Hammond slides up just a little bit. They come out of 2 and out of the backstretch. Thomas down to side draft just a little bit, trying to pull back around the Hammond machine off into 3 and 4. They are still side by side. Neither one giving an inch right now. Now, finally, Hammond will take the lead. Thomas looks for the crossover. Can't make it work. He'll settle in right behind the new leader, Jonathan Hammond. Top 4 broken away just a little bit. 5th place now is Colin Bauer.
This is what I was expecting to come from these 2 guys. I know they were pushing really hard. Now it's going to be, can they hold on to it with their tires, or will Colin and Tyler be able to pass by him here, because they've been saving just single file back there behind them.
Oh, big lift from the leader right there. Tires are starting to take their toll. So we're just 16 laps into this one. Thomas is starting to fade. He's back to 3rd. As Tyler Bentley bypassed him for 2nd place. Jeff Meaton still hanging out in 4th. Like we said, Bauer up to 5th. Rick Cadet is in 6th now. followed by Roberts, Slate, Soren, Meaden, Williams, and Brady Shue. Hammond has gapped the 55 by about 6 car lengths. But he is having to lift a ton. The 55 is not quite having to lift as much. He saved a little bit more tire than the leader did. So we'll see here what those tires do. And really just in the span of 7, 8, 9 laps, you go from full throttle hooking the bottom to you got to apex it, you got to lift.
Maybe pray a little bit on the exit.
But I know I definitely do, and that's why I'm not out there.
Same here.
Hammond still leads. Their lap times are down to a 30.2, at least for the leader. So a definite drop off in speed. Rest of the top 4 have settled in. 5th and 6th have settled in as well, I believe. And the 18 of Slade has actually pulled away from Nathan Soren to hold on to 7th position. Lap 20 goes on the board, so laps going by quick after our early yellow. Still the top 4 cars. Jeff Meaton started to fade a little bit in 4th. So I think I believe the 15 and now the new 6th place car, the 11 of TJ Roberts, I think they're starting to gain just a little bit on a couple of the cars behind the leader here. And Tyler Bentley is reeling in Jonathan Hammond little by little. He's cut the gap down to about 4 or 5 car lengths. So we'll see how close he can get here. He's slowly been getting closer and closer every lap that goes by. His tires continue to wear for the lead car.
At a track like this
is the closest
exactly
he's been.
The way you want to do it, though. Just a 1/10 of a second here, 100th of a second there. Save your tires. Be there for the long run. We know for practice these cars can go anywhere between 40 to 50 laps on fuel. I think the question is, do you pit early? Maybe think about it less as a fuel game and more be thinking about your tires here, the extra speed that you can get.
Definitely allows you to pick up some time, at least if you're a little further back. If you're the leader, you put a little bit more time on the rest of the field in the long run. Bentley is still about 5 car lengths back. You see Hammond drop down to the middle on the backstretch to cut the draft. Still about a 5 car length gap. Come down to get lap number 24 onto the board. DJ Thomas now pulling away from the 72 of Jeff Meaden. Jeff Meaden starting to follow the clutches of Colin Bauer and TJ Roberts, excuse me. Hammond stretches the gap just a little bit more. Next time by, we'll put lap number 25 on the board. So a spread out field besides the 15 and the 11. And then back there in 5th and 6th. Let's check on them. There they are. So that's our closest battle on track right now, about 2 car lengths apart. Hammond continuing to lead, 25 laps down. And we put 26 on the board. So they are ticking off laps now that we're under green flag conditions. It's the 99 and the 55 still out front by a considerable margin here over Thomas Meaden and the rest of the field. They have stretched the gap between them and 3rd to almost 3 seconds.
Got word from
So still.
DJ Thomas, apparently texting and driving.
Well, not only is that probably not a good thing to do while racing, it's technically illegal. So, I mean, whatever works for him, but
he did start out on the pole, so if that's what he's got to do, I suppose it makes him faster.
He must have gotten a little bored up there at the front. You can really tell these guys are lifting now, and you can really tell the leader is lifted because here comes Tyler Bentley. He's within 3 car lengths of the leader, make it 2. Drives off hard into turns 3 and 4. He's coming for the lead. He's a car length back and hounding the lead machine of Jonathan Hammond.
How we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Well, I'm doing good. We're joined by Zach Comella in the booth. Couldn't make it to the race, but he's going to hang out with us up here.
Now, I'll tell you what, guys, it's good to be here tonight. Unable to race, but it's good to be here in on the action. I'm happy to see some familiar faces in the field tonight. Colin Bauer, welcome back. It's good to see you start on the lead lap this time.
He's in 4th right now.
If he can find a way to make up those 6 laps we saw him do at Daytona, he may be a force to be reckoned with out here.
Look at this.
My
goodness.
Spins him.
Bentley just took out the 92 of Jonathan Hammond.
Bentley.
That one. Yeah, caution looks like it's going to come out here. Very, very interesting. Tempers are going to flare for that one, I guarantee it.
So in a 12-car field in 30 laps at 1.5 miles, we've had the leader wreck, and we had, I believe, second. I can't remember where they were running. So we'll re-rack them. Bentley's the new leader, but I don't know.
We'll see how long it lasts.
I'm not too sure that not too sure Jonathan Hammond's going to be too happy with him.
Have to see how race control scores this one.
Catch the pace car. The 88's still, or 92, it depends on where you're looking. It's still in 3rd. So not a big loss of positions, but
a loss of fenders, indeed.
A loss of fenders.
Yeah,
Pit stops.
To see it, looking at that, it does look like the 88 was a victim of netcode. Now, there was a gap there. Tyler Bentley did have his nose in there.
It looked to me like he came down a little bit too far, and we got some contact on pit road. Bentley and DJ Thomas, I guess.
I don't know, guys. I don't think you can put the fall of anybody on that one. That was a real interesting racing incident and unfortunate, but it looks like the 55 of Tyler Bentley is going to take over the lead, at least for the short term.
Oh, maybe not. How about Hammond? How about that pit stop? How about DJ Thomas's pit stop? First pit box helping out the 20. So he's back out front.
Down a fast repair.
Several guys down a fast repair already.
I think if you're Jonathan Hammond, that's the way you're looking at this. Maybe it was a unfortunate thing for you to have happen to you, but great thing about us is we allow him to have 2 fast repairs here, so he's not completely taken out of it. He's still up here in 2nd place. He's got fresh tires. We've seen him make the pass on DJ before. I think he can do it again. I think he's got it in him here to make another long run out in the front. And hopefully I am not jinxing it like last night.
Oh, yeah.
DJ Thomas out front, my teammate. Good to see him. But we're going to see how long that lasts for with the rest of the field chasing him down.
Caution couldn't have come at a much better time for Brady Shue. Got turned off the bumper of the 4 a little bit earlier on in the run. So you see him back there, 6th, 7th place. So
Did anybody catch what happened to the 55 on that stop there? Back to 10th.
Well, it started when he couldn't get in his box. He was blocked out of his box by the leader, actually, ironically enough. Once he got in his box, just a little bit slow stop. So, a couple of different things going on there.
It's good to see. It looks like I have a replacement driver tonight, Nathan Soren, driving the 4 somehow.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened, but
Well, hopefully he can make me proud.
doing good. Doing good so far. Should get
both
one to go here.
hail from the same place. We both found you in the same place, so
That is correct.
Get one to go when we hit the line right here. I'll put lap 35 on the board.
just got word from our previous race winner, Steven Korsek, saying he's had catastrophic wheel failure and he's going to be out for the next few weeks.
Catastrophic wheel failure.
Very interesting title.
That's not one I have heard before.
Sounds like something that would happen to a truck driver.
Yeah.
Not an iRacer,
That's
but
what you'd think, yeah.
I don't know, boys. I know this, though. Saturday, big day for the NFL as well as the Super Bowl on Sunday. I figured I'd just come in and ask you guys what you thought about the matchup and who do you think's be walking away with the Super Bowl this coming Sunday?
Well, I think my heart and my head agree for once. When I say they're playing at home, they've got a quarterback that's won 6 out of 9 of his trips to the Super Bowl. He's in his 10th. You cannot bet against the hometown Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's my pick.
Peyton Jennings.
Well, as I know, you are a big Tom Brady fan yourself.
Absolutely. So I don't even have to go through the motions here.
I think I'm going to go out on a limb here and maybe help you out here and say, you know what? I think that Patrick Mahomes might go out and get it done.
Well, very bold of you to pick the favorite, but here we
that's
go.
awfully-
Back to the
that's awfully
action.
bold. We're going back to green. 36 on the board. DJ Thomas and Jonathan Hammond. Green flag back out. A little bit better start for Hammond that time.
Peyton Jennings comes out against the 2 Buccaneers picks by boldly picking the defending Super Bowl champion.
I'm just trying to do you a favor there. If you were listening to the commentary that I had last night, you would know.
I heard
He
you
did
were a bit of a
jinx
jinx.
several things last night. So we'll see if his jinx affects the game on Sunday. Meanwhile, 3 cars breaking away at the front. And don't look now, here comes Brady Shue. He's made it back up to 4th. He's back in the battle for the lead.
It's almost as if I'm out there driving the 4 car. Look at this, Nathan Soren.
Good move by Hammond. Goes bottom, goes to the top. Couple of good blocks by DJ Thomas. Nathan Soren takes the opportunity, dives low. He's coming for the 2nd spot.
Oh,
And contact!
They touch. Wow. No flags as of now.
That is a 2-for-2 situation.
That is an awfully unfortunate
He's
break.
now 2 for 2 in turning another car. So, first it was Brady Shue, now it's Jonathan Hammond.
It does look like Zach Camilla's out there in that 4 car.
Sure enough.
Nice. Yeah.
Dumping somebody, my specialty.
Especially if you're talking about the car that's currently leading the race.
Absolutely. Me and DJ. A lot of teamwork. Also a lot of wrecking. So, I'll tell you what. It's good to see him out there for once without me hounding him. But now he's going to have to deal with the very slithery Brady Shoe. A fan favorite. Somebody I've mixed it up with on the track a number of times. We've had our door banging differences. But I'll tell you what, he's one hell of a driver, and it's going to be a good battle for the lead as the 15 of Colin Bauer has entered the picture.
Tried to get the low line, didn't quite get there. And now here comes Bauer. TJ Roberts has entered this battle as well. And Jeff Meaton has as well, I think. I think he's fifth. Yeah, there you see him back there in the black and green Alienware machine.
When I loaded into this session and I saw that Colin Bauer was racing, I instantly had a pick for victory.
He's definitely it's an easy pick to make if you're picking Colin Bauer. Very experienced and very, very talented. And speaking of Bauer, here he comes, looking for second on Brady Shoe. Ooh, a little bit of contact there. Ooh, a little bit more contact. Racing this more like a short track. Brady Shoe's going to carry some serious speed off the high line. He's going to get to the outside of Thomas. He tried to block, couldn't quite get there. So for a second, Brady Shoe pulls ahead of the leader, DJ Thomas. DJ drives it hard into 3 and 4, though. And he'll clear Brady again off turn 4. He put lap 43 on the board now. Here comes Brady Shoe again. Looking outside, looks back inside. Nice drive to the bottom, right down to the blue and white line. Gets another run down the backstretch. Let's see if he looks one way or the other. He looks high, now looks back to the inside. Just can't quite get to the bumper of the 20. Not quite. So a 4-car breakaway out front. Make it a 5-car breakaway if you count Jeff Meaton back there in 5th.
Now Brady Shoe will torture you, I'll tell you that much.
That's exactly what he's doing right now.
Last week at Las Vegas, he had some multiple interesting encounters.
Oh, that time he got to the bumper. Lifted up just enough. Stay off the back bumper of the 20. These guys are killing their tires up front right now.
Playing a lot of defense, DJ Thomas is. It's going to be interesting to see what happens as the laps continue. I don't know how they can really drive it this hard this early on and, have any tire left for later on in the run. It's going to be real difficult.
Oh, he saw it happen to the 20 last run. He burned his tires off late in the race and faded right before we got the caution. Where they could pit for tires. We'll see what happens again.
The 9 is right there.
He was there.
Oh!
Bauer's there too. A little bit more contact. And that's it.
That's what I told you about that Brady Shoe
up
character.
the racetrack.
He's a moving weapon today.
As is DJ Thomas. I think this is the most blocks I have ever seen him throw in a race. This early on, he is wanting to be out front and stay on. I think he believes he is the fastest driver, and as long as he can keep everyone else behind him, he can stay out there and run away with it.
Hey, we all have belief, right? Oh my goodness!
Oh! Brady, wow, he gave him a shot right there.
Mr. Shoe, it is lap 47. Now, wow.
Keep all this in mind for a late race restart. I mean, this is going to be a fight for the win. We got several cars that have race-winning speed.
Now if you're ready, you may have given the leader a little bit of a shot there, but that is not a position you want to be at door to door with Colin Bauer.
A little bit more contact.
By far the highest rated iRater.
Oh, he's skipping around.
This man is a menace. Causing problems on the racetrack today. Looks a little like myself. I don't know, man. Long way to go.
I've got the scanner going in my ear, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Colin is not a happy man right about now. He's making sure that Mr. Shu knows that he did not like that move. Meanwhile, it gives DJ a little room to breathe. Almost a second and a half, to be exact.
And if Brady Shue thinks for 1 second that Colin Bauer won't show him a Days of Thunder moment, he is sadly mistaken. This should be interesting.
And in fact, we're going to jump off DJ for a little bit. He's a ways out in front here. We're going to go watch this battle for a second because it's quickly become the best battle pretty much all season when it comes to a storyline. Oh man, these guys are just beating the crap out of each other.
Colin is one to lean if he's got to lean, and give if you give back.
The 15 with great positioning now, I wouldn't be surprised to see him move quickly away. He's a master of saving tires, and I truly do think he's saving a lot right now.
I would not doubt it. Meanwhile, DJ Thomas has set sail. He is loving what's going on behind him.
Often referred to as the luckiest driver on the circuit, DJ Thomas catches another break. But I'll tell you what, being on the pole for this race, having that first pit stop, or I should say the first pit stall, you know, it's definitely a huge advantage in these mile-and-a-half tracks that have long green flag stints.
Gap is still about the same. About 1.3 seconds back to now Colin Bauer. Field's getting a little bit more spread out again. With 53, well, now coming to 54. Don't know when these guys start thinking about pit stops, but you got to think it's going to be at least generally soon.
Bauer shaved some time off on that last lap.
Looking at the top speeds, I'm not sure if it's just DJ out here front saving his tires, maybe trying to go for a little bit of a longer run, or if Colin has just cast out his line and hooked onto the back of that Toyota and reeling him in. A 5 mile per hour difference through the last lap, a 2 mile an hour difference through this lap.
2/10 there, guys, on that last one.
I mean, you can tell DJ's lifting quite a bit on corner entry, so he either has burned up his tires already, or he's trying to save what he's got left. So we come to put lap number 56 on the board. So still 120 laps remaining in this one. Yeah, you can hear it every time he goes off into the corner. Thomas is lifting a ton. So it's Thomas and Bauer. They are 1 and 2. And it's Brady Shue, Tyler Bentley, and TJ Roberts. That makes up the top 5.
Here comes Bentley for third place. He's got inside leverage on the 9 of Brady Shue. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one go sour. 2 menaces fighting for third place.
That Ohio State car likes to be out in front. It wants the clean air. It'll find a way to get there, whether it's around you or through you.
DJ Thomas has noticeably stopped the bleeding a bit. Not nearly as much time shaved off on that last lap.
And a little bit higher line that lap, though. We'll see here at the line, but he's getting chased down. Gap's down to a little, well, actually holds steady that time, about 8.5 tenths. Between the two leaders who have now broken away, Tyler Bentley has cleared the 9 for third position.
As well as TJ Roberts.
TJ Roberts has gone in front of the 9 for fourth position. So drop Brady Shue to the end of the top 5. Sharon Slate is 6th now. Hammond is back in 7th. Cadet and Jeff Mead 8th and 9th. Nathan Soren 10th. And Griffin Williams is 11th.
This is about what I expected to see. Some of these guys that were maybe laying off a little bit, saving their tires, are going to try to make a late run push here in the middle of these green flag runs and catch up to the field. Be interesting to see if they can make up as much time as everybody else has gained on them from the beginning.
Well, I'm definitely watching Tyler Bentley. I did hear him say he's on a little bit newer tires. He saved his the entire run. He did cut another couple of tenths off DJ's lead, as did Colin Bauer. It's down to a half a second.
Don't look now, folks. The man in power, too sweet to be sour. It's Colin Bauer. 2nd place. Here he comes. Cuts that gap to just about a half second.
61 laps on the board now. The gap is now a little bit less. Just over a half a second. And you can tell the gap is closing pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Tyler Bentley is closing about a tenth or two a lap on Thomas, so the 55 is charging pretty hard here. He's cut it under 2 seconds. Thomas puts lap 62 on the board. Now the gap's under half a second.
Yeah, big cut that time by Bauer. It's inevitably coming for DJ Thomas towards the end of this run. I told you about how he saves tires. I mean, you look at the difference. He was 10 laps ago was battling with Brady Shue, who is now almost 4 seconds off the lead, while he cuts into the leader's deficit right now. So that's quite interesting.
We're coming right up on another 32 laps. So finally getting into, maybe with the cars being spread out how they are, a green flag pit stop window. Like I said, in testing, it's anywhere between lap 40 to 50 is when we'll see these guys probably start to come on down to pit road for fuel.
And you see it. Colin Bauer, he's cut the gap down to about 3 car lengths.
You can now see him in your screen, folks, and you're going to be seeing a lot of them here in about 3 laps.
Make the gap 2 car lengths. Good drive off, 2 for Bauer. He probably won't reach the back bumper quite yet, but he has made his way to the back bumper of the 20 and right on cue. Thomas is coming to pit road. So our first car to pit this round is DJ Thomas. And hands the lead to Colin Bauer. And safe to say he has set sail.
I mean, the only 2 cars on track right now with comparable lap times are Tyler Bentley and TJ Roberts. Other than that, there's nothing there. And, as you can see, they're running 2nd and 3rd. But, I mean, Bauer has got at least 100th on both of those cars per lap.
Thomas will go a lap down. So the leaders put him a lap down. He pits at least 2 laps earlier than the rest of the field. So see where that gets him. He's coming off pit road now.
Could be a benefit for him. We saw Steve, I believe, last week pitted a lot earlier than everybody else and then ended up back in front. Ran away with it, calling into the wall.
Oh, the 15's in the wall. Doesn't look like he got much damage out of it. That cuts the gap down under 1.4 seconds, so Tyler Bentley is now closing in fast.
The fact that he hit the wall and was still able to achieve 181 miles an hour on the backstretch is frightening.
For sure. Gap that time by is under a second. Bentley is coming in a hurry. I don't think the 15 has any kind of major damage. I don't see any, at least.
The real telling sign is going to be this time by. Whenever he crosses the line, is his speed going to be significantly slower?
His corner speed is definitely slower, but everyone's is at this point in a run. Gap this time by.
Great lap for Bauer there.
And with the gap's down to 0.8.
Yep, it certainly did come down a little bit. It was a good recovery lap, but if we ride along with Bentley, you can see he's running a 37 flat, or I should say 30.7 flat. Significantly faster. It's going to be real difficult for Bauer to hang on after losing some ground like that. But, as pit stops should be commencing here in a few, we'll see how everything shifts back up.
A little bit less gain that time by the 55, so he's kind of stalled out right around 7.5 tenths behind the 15.
Better lap for Colin that time. He's down into the 30.7s again. That's about where he wants to be at this point in the run.
A little bit bigger lift in 3 and 4 right there. Let's see if Bentley can take advantage. You kind of see him at the edge of your screen. That time by... Gap's down under 7 tenths now.
Big gain.
So, see if Bentley can get there before the end of this run. As pit stops continue to cycle through, Nathan Soren is on pit road. You saw Jeff Meaden there coming off the pit lane. Jay Thomas just now going into 3. He's a lap down. He pit much earlier than everyone else did.
No change in the gap that lap.
You have to wonder, the gap's not changing. Colin's probably a little bit slower. He's beat up his tires more. Are these guys out here lifted big in the corners to go around maybe a couple more laps, get a couple more laps out of the car on fuel? They know they're out ahead. They know they've got a big gap. And just as I say that,
here comes the leader. So that'll hand the lead. The 55 of Tyler Bentley. TJ Roberts will take over second. Hauer is in, Jonathan Hammond is in, and Sharon Slate is in.
So a little bit of follow the leader. Going to be interesting. No cautions this time around. Will some guys be saved by the bell with a caution? But definitely.
Here comes Bentley.
Oh, here we go.
So that hands the lead to the 11 of TJ Roberts.
And you got to think coming up here, DJ Thomas is going to be making his way back. At least getting his lap back and hopefully back into the top 5.
DJ's right there at the edge of the screen. He's right behind the leader. That's the place you really want to be if you're coming to these green flag pit stops. It can get you out ahead whenever they got to come in. You'll get your lap back. It's just, can you beat the guys who pit before the
11
lead?
hangs the left. He's on pit road. That's going to hand the lead.
Caution comes out.
Oh, man. Right when the 11 hit pit road, Rick Cadet's on pit road still. Sharon Slate's on pit road still. Brady Shue just came off of pit road. This is going to shake the lineup big time.
There was that interesting dynamic with a caution I just mentioned. We'll see how it shuffles back out.
I don't even know who's going to cycle out. It depends on who picks up the pace car. I think it's going to be TJ Roberts, but he still scored the leader for now. We'll keep it on him.
Looks like Sharon Slate might have lost it coming out of pit road there. Got a little bit sideways, slid up close enough to the track for it to be a caution.
So we'll see now how this shakes out as they come to the line for the scoring to update. Yep, looks like DJ Thomas, actually. Your new leader.
So we'll wait for scoring to cycle through. The leader is actually going to be DJ Thomas.
So we're looking at Thomas, Roberts, Bentley, Bauer, and Shue. That's your top 5.
Lucky dog here is going to be Nathan Soren, I think.
I believe it should be. We'll see how it goes around. Now, a lot of these guys that are out here have already pitted. We'll see how many people take the freeway, get back onto the lead lap.
I'm not sure any of the leaders. I don't think any of them still have to pit. I think they've all pit already.
We can check that right now. So
We know Ritt's on tail in the lead lap. We know Brady's on tail in the lead lap. We have Meaden as well. So it should be Nathan Soren.
That's what I am reading here. It does look like everyone has pit. Or maybe going for another round of pit.
And okay, maybe a strategy decision here. Thomas is in. And Bauer is in.
This works out pretty well for DJ. Now, DJ did pit earlier than everybody else. He gets a chance to get back on the same pit cycle, actually a little bit later. He's got one extra lap ahead of the guys who pit just now and came out.
So it will be Nathan Soren that ends up the lucky dog. Well, no. Nathan Soren will get the wave around. So lucky dog may go to Jeff Meaden. He was just on pit road. Jonathan Hammond will get the wave around, so he's a lap down. Soren, Cadet, and Shu are now the tail end of the lead lap. So
And in shocking news, guys, I hate to interrupt, but this is absolutely worth it. It appears that later in this year, there will be an exhibition boxing contest between the one Floyd Money Mayweather and the other Paul brother, Jake Paul.
Jake or Logan?
Jake. He's going to fight both Paul brothers this year. Imagine that.
Oh. Wow.
We bring you racing, we're bringing you the news, we're bringing you predictions. We give you a little bit of everything here.
Well, if you're enjoying this action, that's going to be one you don't want to miss. I know I won't miss it.
2 fights for Floyd Mayweather.
That's a very impressive feat for Floyd at his age at this point.
It's incredible.
So, interesting to see how he does against, well, really both of them, I guess. So, the 9, 215, 4, and 92 are all coming around the pace car. When they hit the line right here, they should score on the lead lap. And right on cue, they all do. So, well, 92 didn't. That's weird.
He was 2 laps down.
Oh, he was 2 laps down.
Looks like he got caught in pit lane as the caution came out. He got trapped 2 laps down. Couldn't get out on time.
Well, 7 lead lap cars then. It's Roberts, Bentley, Bauer, Thomas, Shu, Cadet, and Soren. You see Griffin Williams there. He's in the 3rd spot. Technically, he is not scored in 3rd. He is 10th, a couple of laps down.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you mark your calendars February 10th. Full Pedal Jacket Intimidators Cup Series will be heading to Bristol. 250 laps at the famed half-mile track. So you're not going to want to miss that one if you like Rex. Just saying.
I do
The
love
way that they have been going today, if we can get Colin and Brady starting next to each other, I think it'll be a pretty entertaining race.
Speaking of Colin, what a move by the 15. He just blew through a hole between the 72 of Jeff Meaden and the 54 of Griffin Williams. And I mean, he was shot out of a cannon, and it still is. Here he comes. Here comes Bauer. Wrecking!
Oh my goodness.
DJ Thomas is in it.
The yellow comes back out.
Jeff Meaden.
That one's got to hurt for DJ.
Jeff Meaden appeared to spin. To the back.
Things you hate to see. That probably tops the list. Unfortunate.
If we say it once, we'll say it 100 times here. Cautions breed cautions. You stacking everybody back up. They're all on fresh tires. People are trying to make moves, get out in front. That's how these things go.
And look at the two individuals that are now around each other once again, and they make contact.
Oh, these two cannot seem to get away from one another.
It appears as if we have a Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick level bout about to occur at the end of this race. Now, luckily for both of these fellas, there will be no punches thrown as this is a simulator, but if they were face to face, I'm quite sure there would be.
Oh, I guarantee there'll be verbal punches thrown.
Yeah, unless that's what the fans want. I mean, if Jake Paul can get Money Mayweather, I think we might be able to scrounge up enough cash to get Brady Shue versus Colin Bauer.
Wait just a second. DJ, I did not catch what your black was for.
I believe he was spun into the pits.
Oh. Lots of takers on pit road that time. They include Brady Shue, Colin Bauer, Tyler Bentley, Rid Cadet. Jonathan Hammond's actually going to be back on the lead lap, so he gets the lucky dog.
Coming up in about a month and a half, we do have the Full Pedal Jacket All-Star Race at Rockingham, 200 laps, the famed racetrack, March 17th. Mark your calendars, you won't want to miss that. Should be a blast, a track that is seldom visited these days, but it should be a blast. I'm looking forward to racing in it. There's no doubt about that.
Another innocent victim that we may have missed from that caution. It looks like DJ Thomas came down the track right into the side of Griffin Williams.
Oh. That's so add that to the list of things you hate to see.
It doesn't rank as highly as the first one, Dawson, I'll tell you that, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah. So we'll re-rack. It would still be TJ Roberts out front, but now it's Brady Shue in second and Colin Bauer in third. And
that sounds like a familiar lineup.
This is going to get very interesting.
Do you think we could hire Bruce Buffer?
I wish we could.
With driver introductions, I think that'd be incredible.
I wish we could. The way this race is going so far. So 11 and 9 on the front row, 15 and 55 on the second row. And then you got Rid Cadet in fifth and DJ Thomas in sixth. Well, he's back there somewhere. There he is. Yeah. Jonathan Hammond is 7th, Nathan Soren is 8th, but he is still on the pit lane. Jeff Mead 9th, a lap down. He's still on pit lane as well. Griffin Williams 2 laps down in the 10th position. And Sharon Slate and Scott Meaden have called it a night early. So 8 cars left on the lead lap. We will get the green flag, I believe, with lap 84 going on the board. So getting close to halfway, whether you believe it or not. We're just a few short laps from halfway in this race.
And if you think about it, 83 laps in just over an hour and 15 minutes, guys, is not bad at all. These guys have kept it clean enough to get some legitimate green flag racing in.
Well, it really starts to test the skill of the drivers, which we've seen definitely improve over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, the field's been stronger, there's no doubt about it. I can tell you that firsthand, especially with the addition of guys like Josh Peak. You saw last week Steven Korosek just dominated that race. I mean, nobody could touch him the entire time. We got a couple of late cautions, and he just beat us all easily, it seemed.
A couple of guys that maybe everybody out there has missed out on, as they do not know. Nathan Soren's has joined us as of recently. He is a very fast driver. We've seen him race before. Matthew Fleming actually ended up way up in the standings with his qualifying. He would have been starting inside of the top 10 as well. He was unable to make it tonight. A lot of snow. It tends to be the issue. People have long hours. People have work to do. And here we go, getting ready to go green.
It's tough. Definitely going to be a
84.
blessing to see the snow.
84 on the board. Green flag back out. It's Roberts out front. And Brady Shue outside of him. And heads up. Brady Shue's got company. Here comes the 15 of Bauer.
Knock, knock.
For now, it's Roberts out front. Here comes Bauer. He's diving quickly down to the bottom, wasting no time at all. Tyler Bentley coming for third.
15 strikes the apron, unfortunately, there. Lost some ground.
Yeah, so Roberts actually going to lead that lap. I don't think he's going to clear the 15. Well, he does clear the 15. 15's coming right back to him, though. Brady Shue jumps up the track just a little bit. It's going to give DJ Thomas an opening to go to the bottom for fourth position. And Roberts is pulled away from the 15 by about 3 or 4 car lengths. And that will not last very long.
DJ Thomas strikes the outside wall, trying to make a power move there on the 55.
One great thing about Charlotte, they have a dirt track here and they have the 1.5 miles here, and sometimes you just can't tell which one you're watching.
Absolutely.
Still Roberts out front. About 4 car lengths over the 15 of Bauer. And the 55 of Bentley. We put lap 87 on the board.
I mean, you can't help but think that the tail car probably has something to do with the speed of the 11. Charlotte, it is a North Carolina racetrack. You know, Dale himself was from North Carolina.
I think at this point what we're waiting to see is, does he have the same aggression as Dale? Can he handle the beatdown that may be coming up on his rear bumper?
Oh man, heads up. It's got to be intimidating to see the 15 creeping up closer and closer every time you look up in the rear view.
And look who's joined the two up front. It's DJ Thomas.
Oh, look now.
Close the gap.
Just past halfway, and Thomas has made his way back up into the third position. So move Bentley back to fourth for now, and Brady Shue rounding out the top 5. Still no change up front. It's still TJ Roberts, about a car length and a half over the 15. They get about a half a car length now as they get up into 3. And a good run for Bauer. Roberts, he washed up the racetrack. New leader, Colin Bauer.
Now here comes a battle for the lead everybody's going to want to see. Two guys who spent a lot of time around each other on the racetrack. DJ Thomas, Colin Bauer, back out front with less than 100 laps to go, ready to duel it out.
It's a good drive for Thomas there in 3 and 4, but Bauer starts to pull away. Oh, made 20-minute tag the wall right there.
Second time in the last 5 laps. He's struggling to keep it down there on corner exits.
Like we said at the beginning, that's going to be, I believe, in the corner that's going to make or break your race. If you can keep it down into the trial, will maintain your speed and carry it through the backstretch. It's what's been deciding these big runs, catching up to people onto their rear bumper, and maybe making a move on them.
And Colin is gone. Oh, now he's back.
A little blinkage there from the 15. Nothing to worry about.
And DJ is hanging with him. 2-3 car lengths back. And Roberts has settled in nicely to position number 3. Next time by, make it 83 laps to go. So we are starting to really take off laps. Let's see how far these guys go. It may be a 2-stop race from here, though.
Looks like Tyler Bentley's peeked inside now. He's going back up. Doesn't look like he's going to save too much on this run. Or maybe he decided, I don't want these guys to get out too far ahead in front of me. I'll burn them up a little bit, catch up, make sure I'm in the draft.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be a Michael Vick style dogfight. I'll tell you that much.
I was gonna say something like, I can't believe you just said that, but I'd be lying. So,
well, guys, you know I don't come here and commentate too often. I do more of the racing, but I'll tell you what, you know, I call it like I see it. I think we know that by now. But like I said, dogfight. P2. Here we go.
Dogfight. Well, let's take a look back there as Bauer starts to pull away. Bentley has run down the 20 of Thomas. He'll try to chase him off of turn 2. Let's see if we can get a good run off 2 down the backstretch. Well, he gets as far as the bumper. Can't get any closer. Now he dives it in.
Have we paid attention, or I should say enough attention, to the gap that Colin Bowers just put on the second and third place cars?
Oh, I've definitely noticed it.
Here they go. Second and third place.
Bentley's made it to the inside of the 20, and it appears the 20's going to give up the spot. So, move Tyler Bentley to second. They are all chasing the 15, who has driven away from the field.
You might want to be careful. He gets out there too far ahead. He might fall asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, and almost spin out like he did last time. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, when you think about iRacing simulation, they don't call you a great driver. Rather, they call you Colin Bauer if you're dominating like this.
That is true indeed. He is running away with this as far as we see right now.
And as we saw earlier, he's not afraid to mix it up, you know? It's one of those things. Messing with Colin Bauer on the racetrack could be hazardous to one's health.
See what the gap is that time by similar. So just under a second back to Tyler Bentley, who seems to have the 15 paced pretty well. But it took him several laps to pass a couple of cars.
Yeah, it's been an underrated battle. There's no doubt about that.
Might be in the same position that he was in last time, where he knows he's far out ahead. He's probably using a little bit more of his tire. He can sit in second place. He's close enough to still get the draft through the backstretch. And maybe he's just going to try to beat him into the pits. He's went around that extra lap every time.
Well, it appears as if 15's maybe extended the gap just a little bit this time around. We'll see when they hit the line. Yeah. Oh, almost 2/10 put on there by the 15, so the gap's over a second now. Back to Tyler Bentley in second. So we put 100 on the board. Next time by, to be 75 laps to go.
DJ Thomas has entered the pit lane.
Another early stop for DJ, but it worked out last time, so see if it works out again as he goes a lap down right there.
Thing to remember about how it worked out last time. Yes, he was shuffling back out. Yes, they were going to have to hit after him. But there was a caution involved. Will he get the same benefit? A lot of spread out cars right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it works out for him in the end. I believe it could be attributed to the fact of him getting up into that wall. Maybe he realized he didn't have enough speed, decided to hope for the caution to come out, or maybe try to extend his lead a little bit if he can get out ahead of leaders under pit stops. Fix that damage and hopefully get back up to speed.
Yeah, he tagged that corner exit wall out of 4 coming through the tri-oval. He tagged that 2 or 3 times I saw in just a couple of laps. So seems as if the track is changing a little bit. Could be wrong. Didn't drive the surface at all today in warm-ups or anything like that. So had a lot of grip to start. I know that much.
Word in now, he has not hit the wall. He's just trying something new. Might work out in his favor.
Gap still around 1.1 seconds back to Bentley, and from there, they have driven away from third place Brady Shue. It's almost 3 seconds between second and third.
Yeah, Tyler Bentley has done an extremely good job today of not really showcasing his hand. You know, he's keeping the gap. You know, it's there, but he's kept it pretty close. A second is not, you know, something he couldn't overcome. But at the same time, he's not really allowing the 15 to gain too much on him. So we'll see if he's got anything for him at the end of the race.
Right around this time on the last run is whenever Tyler started to slowly start reeling him in about 1/100th of a second at a time and just tick away the laps, getting in the draft, running the correct line and saving his tires. Might work out for him here if we can stay green for maybe the rest of this race.
Well, with the field spread out like it is, I don't see it on yellow, at least, unless it's another single car incident.
You know, you never know. You could have somebody from Michael Waltrip Racing come out and take a hard right turn into the outside wall. We don't encourage that here. But if it happened, you know, it's just one of those things. It comes with racing.
You know, NASCAR didn't encourage it either, and look what happened.
I know. Look what happened. But tell you what, every time they make that drive into the tri-oval, I see the roval and I get a bit excited.
Not the roval today.
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately.
I know it's DJ Thomas's favorite racetrack on iRacing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It would be great to give him the opportunity to come out to the roval again at some point soon. But not in the cards for this year as of now. I'm sorry, it is in the cards for this year. June 21st, should you make the round of 8, or everybody will be there, but round of 8, Charlotte Roval, 35 laps, June 23rd.
All right.
So, DJ Thomas, mark your calendar.
Top 2 still the same. Third and fourth still the same. Gap is very similar to what it's been the past few laps. Right around 1.1 seconds. And Tyler Bentley's starting to run a little bit higher line, I think. I don't know what. Maybe Colin's going to try to copy it here. Nope. Colin runs down the bottom again.
Tell you what, the 55 has done a continuously good job, like I was saying earlier, keeping that gap maintainable. And the laps are ticking now, 65 to go, 66 to go.
And at this point, you're looking at, for the leaders, probably 2 more stops.
Yep.
One here, probably the next 5 to 6 laps, and then somewhere in the realm of 150, 155 for the money stop. We'll see who that ends up benefiting. Gap may have grown a little bit that time. It did, 1.3.
Gap has grown. Interesting thing to note here. TJ Roberts is now the car with the longest stint that is currently out on track. He's went 36 laps. He didn't pit under that last caution. We saw him out in front. It's getting ready to be his pit stint. It's going to open it up for some of the guys that are kind of farther back through there to maybe gain a position or two.
Now, I know you were just speaking to this, Big Hickory, and that's why I'm going to bring it back up. You talked about that last money stop and whose advantage. It's a 2-stall difference between the leader and the second place car right now. 55 of Bentley started 9th today. Bauer started 11th, and that matters. Especially if they find themselves
Definitely
on pit road at the same time, whether they're on the same strategy and don't realize it. And even if not, that 2 stalls is, a considerable amount of time on pit lane. So it's going to be interesting.
62 to go next time by. Really, only a few cars have taken their pit stops so far. And no indication that any of the top 5, 6 cars are coming anytime soon.
They're looking at coming in probably between 118 to 120. I know we saw a couple of guys last time come in a lap early or 2 laps early than everybody else. Might be the same position we got here. Colin was the first one to bring it down. And it might be why he's trying to extend this gap a little bit. You see he's went from being just off of the blue and white line there through the corners. And he's brought it down pretty much right along the apron here. Trying to apex the corner, lifting really big, maybe saving his fuel a little bit.
Still maintaining very good speed. Both.
Oh yeah, he's carrying extremely good speed through the middle of the corner. We're this long into a tire run, so
160 through the real apex of that corner. That's great at this stage of the race.
Earlier when we saw DJ Thomas out front. As he got later into a tire run, he was dipping down 155, 154. So
166 through the center.
The top 2 have done a very good job of saving their tires, and he hasn't really closed the gap to the leader at all. Brady Shue is beginning to close the gap a little bit on Tyler Bentley. We'll see how long that lasts.
Brady is up about 2 miles an hour, almost 3 on Tyler Bentley here. TJ Roberts as well, even though he took an earlier pit stop and he's on older tires, is up on speed by about 4 miles an hour on Tyler Bentley.
I saw the gap grow a little bit more back to the 55. Still no signs of the 15 coming to pit road.
It's consistency, especially through 3 and 4, that's giving Bauer the advantage.
Tyler Bentley has entered the pits.
Yep, Bentley's on pit road. So the next of the leaders to pit is Tyler Bentley, and that means Colin Bauer's lead is up to almost 5 seconds.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him come on in.
Not this time around.
Not this time.
Still going. He's stretching this a really long way.
He's running strong 30-second laps at pretty considerable, or I should say considerably deep into the green flag run. So, I mean, a lot of guys are in the 31s right now.
And there's TJ Robertson now, leading the only car that is anywhere around Colin on the track being the 9 of Brady Shue, ironically.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the leader. Ooh, starting to lose it a little bit as he got down near the pit entry line. Hang on, and Brady's going to go around another lap. So, new leader is Brady Shue. He leads for the first time tonight. And I'll hand second place over to Bauer.
The 92 of Jonathan Hammond has also come down.
Yeah, you can tell Brady is struggling really bad here.
Coming up on him is DJ Thomas and Quick.
Bauer nails pit exit right there. Strong
yeah,
pit.
It'd be interesting to see. The 55's in 1 and 2. The 15's not quite up to speed. And Brady's starting to get that thing woed down. He's down on the apron.
And if I bring so myself,
the number 9 Chevrolet to pit road.
It looked as if the 15 got on the racing surface a little bit early there. I hope that's not the case.
It doesn't appear that way.
Yeah, it looks like he's all set, but try to definitely get on it there. And
He keeps the gap pretty decent right now
yeah,
over Tyler Bentley. We'll see where everybody starts to cycle out here.
get up to 187 on the.
We're going to have a new leader when everything cycles out. And you're looking at him right there. So at least for now, we'll see how long this lasts. Obviously, DJ has been on track for quite a few laps at this point on a much different strategy than many of the leaders are. For now, he holds the race lead.
Looking at his strategy, though,
Cycles around, obviously.
he may be on the winning strategy. It's going to be close between him and TJ Roberts. Now, TJ Roberts stretched his last pit stop out to 44 laps.
Oh, that changes everything.
And the
A
caution
caution
comes
flag.
out.
And it's
And
caused by none other than the one and only Brady Shue, it seems.
Oh, no.
What happened to the 9? Let's see this, guys.
What happened to him? Well, this works perfectly into the hand of DJ Thomas, who was really getting close to his pit lap anyway again, I think. I'm not exactly 100% on those lap time, or lap
That
counters.
is 1-to-1 the exact same thing that we saw happen to Sharon Slate.
Oh, wow, it really is.
Exiting pit road right before the cone, there is a little bit of a bump, and if you hit it at the wrong speed on cold tires,
That is going to end the night for the 9. Unfortunately, Brady Shue
Oh.
falls victim to pit exit.
A fast car.
Colin Bauer has got to be smiling. You know it.
Oh, I think he'd be smiling either way. I think the guys really smiling now are Thomas and Roberts in first and fourth that are on different strategies.
Yeah. Yep.
Bauer was going to pass the 20 within the next 3 or 4 laps. I mean, he was running him down really quick.
I think
He's
we're
going to follow him in. Look at
Yeah.
this.
I think we're going to see everyone
Bauer's
come in
gonna
here.
follow him in. Not everybody. New leader, TJ Roberts.
Wow.
So he stays out.
He's been the man with the plan all night. He's on a completely and almost entirely different pit strategy to everybody else. He's been the one pushing it to the absolute maximum distance. He went one more lap on the first pit stop, and he stretched out an extra 5 more laps than the next closest on the second pit stop. I still don't think any of these guys have enough to make it to the end, though, unless they're lifting big and saving. 44 laps is the longest we've seen, so that puts them right around that 175 mark if we don't get another caution.
I will say we're not going to have that many cars left on track. This is going to be an interesting run because the amount of fast cars that are left, but with Brady Shue's night coming to an end, and Nathan Soren and Jeff Meaden still kind of stuck on pit road, we're going to have 7 cars on track, and whoa!
Maybe 6?
Maybe 6 if... What was...
I'm unsure what happened to DJ Thomas there.
Let's see. He says he hit the brakes a little too hard. So,
At least he didn't hit the wall, at least from what we saw. One thing we need to point out here is, for the first time in a while, up in front, I believe, is going to be the 215 of Rick Cadet.
yeah, because Roberts makes the left to pit road on the second time around, so another strategy play. Thomas coming down again, as well as Griffin Williams, who's multiple laps down. So it'll be Ritt out front for the first time tonight. He'll have a tough task ahead of him, though, defending the lead from the next 2 cars behind him. Just gonna do this real quick. Hey, DJ, if you want to stay up front, you got to keep the car straight under caution, my guy.
Oh, yes. We love to see that Ritt's car out in front, though.
Oh, yeah.
Ritt is a personal favorite of ours. He's often the inventor of some funky setups that we've used before in previous races. a storied engineer in his professional career.
Yeah.
I think that his story tonight is going to be, can he keep Colin Bauer and Tyler Bentley from passing him and running away with this?
It's going to be very tough. On just under 50 laps to go, it comes down to one pit stop or cautions. We'll see which one it comes down to. With only 6 or 7 cars on track, I mean, it should come down to one pit stop. So,
in that one pit stop, I mean, we've seen, I believe the killer out of anything else has been the inside wall and onto the entrance to the backstretch, coming off of pit road. That very well could be the deciding factor here if somebody decides to pit early and maybe catches himself in the same situation, exiting pit road, getting a little bit loose, hitting the inside wall and sliding up onto the track, causing another caution.
The one and only Rick Cadet with the lead.
In fact, he is up 7.
He's there for now. We'll see if he can hold on to it here on the race start.
Gonna be a good one, boys. Not too long left in this race.
At least one pit stop, assuming we go green. If not, it comes down to who wins each restart. And more importantly, who wins the last restart.
Yes.
If this is it, the moves you make here could determine where you finish in the race. Pace car will make the left. We will have 48 laps to go. Field is in the hands of Rit Cadet. Bring him to the restart zone.
I know it's a small field, but you gotta love the heart of Griffin Williams to stick in this, and it looks like he's gonna benefit with a top 10 finish as a result.
He's
bottom line.
Man, Rit checking it up through 1 and 2. It's gonna hold up Tyler Bentley quite a bit. That lets DJ get through to second, but more importantly, the 15 is out front. Like we were saying about Griffin, definitely from what I've seen, he likes to use this as a learning experience, and he's definitely improving as we go through the weeks. And
It's key.
in a small field like this, if you got chances to just run laps, why not? Stay out there and run laps, get experience. So good to see him tagging along the back of this line.
One thing we can see here, we've got the driver inputs pulled up for Colin Bauer. He almost has a completely smooth telemetry line. He is holding this thing as cool as a cucumber through the middle of this corner.
Well, I figured that he would probably be out front at some point tonight, but he is starting to put on one heck of a show at just the right time. With 45 to go as we hit the start-finish line. Trailing him is DJ Thomas. Rick Cadet has settled into third, so after a little bit of a rough start, he gets it going. He's settled into third position. And behind him is TJ Roberts in the 11. Bentley is 5th, Hammond is 6th, and Griffin Williams is 7th. Rick takes a look for second. Can't quite get underneath TJ Thomas there now. Ritt falls into the clutches of the 11 of TJ Roberts. Roberts looks high, can't get anywhere there.
Tyler Bentley is 100% in full save mode right now. You see him there in 5th place. There's no way, as fast as he's been today, that this is all he's got. No way.
Oh, no. And I don't blame him either. Just hang on to the pack. Either wait for a caution or wait for your stop. Make it count. Run to the end, because at this point you can run till probably 15, 16 laps to go. And now just about everybody's on the same strategy as Colin disappears again. He's back.
Don't blink from the leader.
He stretched the gap a little bit more over Thomas. Thomas is hanging around. Ritt Cadet's still in third place, so a really strong run right now for Ritt there.
Yeah.
Another strong run for TJ Roberts. He's had a couple of moments tonight where he has shown what kind of speed he can have. Led some laps. He's in fourth place right now. Bentley's still hanging around back there in fifth. 41 to go and we hit the line. So 41 to go, and Colin Bauer has checked out.
So I know we've had this conversation a lot, guys, especially with the development of this league and coming together and trying to make something fun for everybody. A lot of the common questions from the guys that have been in here recently, they all look at the championship fours race at Iowa. That's July 28th, by the way, and they're kind of confused by the selection. What do you guys think was the big factor in picking Iowa for the championship four?
Well, I will say, for my piece at least, Iowa is an awesome racetrack with some great racing. It's short track racing, so it provides just a little bit more excitement to the final race of the season, as the final race of the season really deserves. So, for me, it makes it more exciting for these guys, obviously on track, and more exciting for me up here getting to watch these guys go to work, especially since it's for a championship.
Yeah,
I would.
I would have to agree with that. I mean, it's a track that I feel doesn't really get as much love as what it deserves, and it's a track that can, under the right circumstances, if you got guys who are really running up there, and we do have a lot of fast guys in our field, it can lead to some really good racing, and I believe it'll really come down to the way that it's been looking. One or two guys at the end trying to make a move, and it could make or break them.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique racetrack. Takes a lot of focus. In being able to produce in a high stakes pressure race is an important thing, and also, you know, what better way to pull that out of the drivers by sending them to a track that you have to be consistently good at for however many laps, you know, to be successful. So you're seeing it today. You're seeing what consistency can do for you. Look at the 15. That's about as consistent as you can get. Putting down the same laps, you know, 29 5s, 29 7s early through the run. And then, you know, as you start to approach the end of the run, consistent 30.69, 30.75. Nothing, not breaking the 31s. I look forward to more races like that this season.
That's what it takes to win at these mile and a halves. Consistency is key, and it's also a killer.
If you like consistency, next week may not be the race for you. Like we said, we're going to Bristol.
Going to Bristol.
Going to Bristol. So.
Pack your virtual bags. Here we come, Bristol, Tennessee. And I'm going to hate my life.
Everything you thought you knew during this race, throw it out the window next week. Because Bristol is a different animal.
Whoever has the last fast repair is going to win Bristol. Mark my words.
Oh, hell. Or just the least damage on their car, the rate we will have to race that one. It's a long race. 250 laps is a very long way to go. And
3-second lead for the lead.
Yeah, I was looking here at the beginning that the second place of DJ Thomas got into a little bit of an issue. He's dropped all the way back to the back of the field and might have slowed up on the guys
almost
right behind
10
him.
seconds off.
Well,
unfortunately,
I'm under the impression I think the 55 may be trying to save his stuff
Yeah.
He ran with Colin for a long way both of the last 2 runs. But now finds himself 3 seconds back. So
It's just good execution by the 15 to focus on clean air, turning inconsistent laps as we were just talking about, and letting the guys from 2nd to 5th, kill each other. That's really what he's done. They're using up all their stuff to try and get up to him, and he's just cruising right now.
It may turn out to be that Tyler Bentley knows they got 40-something laps before they have to pit. If you're looking at it from here, I can lift now, save my tires, save my fuel, and maybe get that extra 6 to 8 laps out at the end of the race. Colin's up here speeding away with it. So we know for sure he's in clean air. The 55 at least has a partner to work with, maybe give him a little bit of a push, and TJ Roberts.
2 tenths in the last 2 laps put on.
There goes DJ Thomas to the pits now. Must have
with
some
only
things.
30 laps to go at the line, I mean, you could pit now and make it, which is what DJ appears to be doing. But he'd have to cycle all the way out to the race lead. I don't see it happening. He gets lapped there by the leader, Colin Bauer.
Does have the benefit of the first pit box. It'll be interesting. It all comes down to how fast he gets out right here and if everyone else has to pit. It's a risky move, but where he dropped from 2nd all the way back to the last car in the lead lap there, I think it's one that you have to take whenever you're in a position like this.
It's interesting you say that because there's a lot that's going to go into this now for DJ Thomas. Say, for example, the caution does come out, which is obviously what he'd like at this point. Or, he cycles out to the lead in some world. I don't know. It seems like it'd be really, really difficult for that to happen, but you never know. Caution comes, you're a lap down, yep, you get the lucky dog, or possibly the free wave. But at that point, now you're 15, 16 laps deep on tires. And you're going to have to use that newfound track position to try and fight off, Colin Bauer and Tyler Bentley with fresh tires. I just don't know if that's the gamble I would make at this point.
Yeah, we do say that, but we saw early on in the race, DJ Thomas was not afraid to start throwing blocks. And within the first 40 laps of the race, it's very possible that may be his strategy. If he gets out ahead, as long as my rear end is in front of you, you can't pass me.
You're not wrong. We shall see. 27 laps to go. Should be interesting.
Appears the rest of the leaders are going to try to run their fuel tanks dry. I think 47, 48 laps is asking a lot. I don't think you can do it.
That is, unless you're Steven Korosek.
Well, yeah.
48 laps at Talladega on a tank of fuel. But
I still cannot tell you how in the world he got that done. I have no idea.
Not entirely sure. There was some cautions, I will say. But, wow.
And as the 15's turning these laps now, he is closing in a little bit on the 4 car in front of him. That may turn out to be in his advantage if he can catch up here within the next couple laps.
Absolutely.
He's still a little bit of a ways behind. Soren just now crossed the stripe. And there you see Bauer coming across the stripe. 25 laps to go. So we're into the home stretch. Gap is growing every lap now. It's 3.5 seconds.
March 31st, we head to Watkins Glen in New York. 45 laps there. You're not going to want to miss that one. That is the first road course that these guys will be taking on all season. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Road Atlanta just 3 weeks later on April 21st. So should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to trying my hand in some road racing. I'm pretty terrible at it as of now, but hopefully we can change things there.
Yeah, with a couple of road races in there at the end, it'll be interesting to see how these guys can handle it that late into the season. We're putting them through a pretty strenuous run of 1.5-mile tracks and then the short tracks here in the beginning. Then we get to those longer road courses. We got the Roval, we got Watkins Glen, Talladega's later on.
Michigan, that 2 mile oddball in there.
Oh, yeah.
And then a nice 1.5 miles, Texas in week 14. And then North Wilkesboro, which should be an absolute blast. That's on May 12th. Gonna want to be there for that one. There's no doubt about it. 225 laps at the 1987 recreation of North Wilkesboro, so it should be a blast. I'm looking forward to that race, maybe more than any other race on the schedule.
I think the only thing consistent we'll see about that race in Bristol is going to be door banging.
Oh, yeah.
And the goal is to have a large field for that race, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. For really both of them. Next week, and obviously North Wilkesboro as well.
North Wilkesboro, what an interesting racetrack that is. The history that goes along with it, but just the actual racing surface itself. The way you have slight banking, not a lot, but it's also not, as flat as New Hampshire or Martinsville. So it should be a blast.
Now, Tyler Bentley here seems like is starting to maybe realize, hey, I can't let Colin get out too far ahead of me. He's 6 miles per hour faster through that last section.
Now, if he wasn't 4 seconds back, that would probably mean a lot more than it does at the current moment.
Right.
But now with 2 more tenths going on that lap, it's going to be a really tall mountain to climb.
Might have decided, hey, I'm not going to save. I need to get up there. Me and TJ Roberts can work together and hopefully catch up and get on the same pit cycle if Colin decides to pit. Colin is lifting heavily in the corner, so.
But still running a 30.7. It's really incredible. The consistency's been there all day. I mean, just go back and look at his lap times throughout the entire race. They gradually go from 29 to 29.7 to 30.7, and that's where the growth stops.
And
Here comes the leader for his money stop. Bentley will continue around the racetrack, but TJ Roberts is in. So we're going to go to Bentley. I'll keep an eye on the 15. See where he ends up.
From the sounds of it there, as we were passing over Colin Bauer, he sounded like he had a sputter going on there. So I'm interested to see how much fuel
if my math is correct,
here they come.
Comes Bentley.
he should be fine. But I'll
Ran
tell
the
you
extra
what,
lap.
Colin Bauer, to me, looked like he was a little too fast entering. Now, I hope that's not the case. It looked like he was about 6 to 7 miles over what he should have been at entering pit lane. I'm not sure, though. But just the way the Iracing simulator had it.
What I heard in my ear just now was right. The 15 has been given a speeding penalty on pit road.
Too fast entering for Colin Bauer.
Too fast entering. Well, now we got a race now. So Bentley's your leader. But hang on just a sec. Because he's going to get passed, I think.
Here he comes.
And I knew as soon as I saw
AJ Thomas, are you kidding me? He's going to get to the back bumper of the 55. We're going to have a battle for the win with just under 17 to go. Thomas bypasses Bentley.
Incredible.
Oh, Thomas rode up the track, though.
And here's where the
Bentley
tires are going to come into play.
Tyler Bentley is out front with 16 to go.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, just when you thought
it was
the
all
15
but
had it wrapped up.
And consistency is not everything if you can't get it down on pit lane without speeding. That is tough. That is a horrible and heartbreaking incident there for the 15. But this race is not over. He's the first car lap down. The event of a caution, he's right back on the lead lap fighting for the win. So we'll see as we take you through the final 14 laps here.
This run right here shows you just how important tires are. We were talking about maybe if DJ can get out in front, he can block. He's stuck behind now. The 11 is closing in on him decently fast here, gaining a couple of tenths a second every corner just about, it seems like. Can he hold on and maybe pick up a second place?
Last week I mentioned that it looked like Tyler Bentley was one of, if not the fastest car on the racetrack the last 30 laps of the race. Tonight, he gets his shot out front. Third place right now is TJ Roberts. He's about 4 seconds back at DJ, so no pressure for even DJ out back right now. We'll see what the gap is this time around.
He put a second on him the last time by.
And Tyler Bentley has checked out.
Putting on for that Ohio State.
So after a strong run last week,
and a very, very impressive run during the Daytona race, we must say as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, strong, really strong run last week in Las Vegas. I could tell you from the driving perspective, he was a damn menace all race long. Every time I looked in my rear view mirror, he was there, and then he was looking in his rear view mirror and saw me at the end of the race. So, you know, definitely a worthy performance here today, as he's got about, I don't know,
11
45
laps.
or so corners.
Oh, well, that's a very specific way to put it, but
Sure.
You know, you have to
44.
think, if he wins this race, I think the only thing he's going to regret is that his brother wasn't here to join him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no Nathan Bentley
No
today,
Nathan Bentley with
unfortunately.
us tonight. So, and
Around we go once more.
we got a new second place car. It's the 11 of TJ Roberts.
Who was just blowing the doors off of DJ.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the strategy,
Tires appear to have failed in here.
the reservation I had earlier about that situation with DJ coming in earlier than everybody else has just come to fruition. Unfortunately, that tire wear, what a difference.
Yeah, he is significantly off pace here, about 5 to 7 miles per hour, depending on if you're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 through the turns. He actually dropped all the way down 10 miles an hour slower there.
9 laps to go.
It'll be 8 when we hit the stripe.
24
So 8 more
turns.
times around. 8 more times around.
Nope, I'm terrible at math. 32.
But Tyler Bentley, what are you talking about? 24. 8 times 4 is 24.
We're at Pocono, okay?
Okay. Doesn't look like Pocono, but
Hey, that works for me.
Hey, Pocono is in North Carolina. That's the caution is out, and suddenly the door has creaked open for the 15.
oh. Now he's gonna have some work to do, and not many laps to get it done. Oh wow!
Oh,
Where was this caution?
that would be
Had to have
Nathan
been
Soren.
Nathan Soren. Yep, I thought I saw. Yep, there was the 4. Oh well, we're gonna re-rack. So lucky dog will be Colin Bauer.
Here we go.
So we're gonna have 5 cars on the lead lap for a shootout, and you'd expect, at least I would, that basically all the leaders are coming for tires right here.
I am not gonna lie, it almost looked like Nathan Soren blew a tire. He was in the middle of 3 and 4, and that car just decided it was going right.
Yeah,
up the
and I'll
track.
tell you who else this works out beautifully for. The 20 of DJ Thomas,
Oh yeah.
who now has the opportunity to make a huge move. A huge
Oh
move.
yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. It seems we got a little shout out here from Brady Shoe. Look at that. You sure you're not driving that 4 cars, that Camille?
Well,
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you this, Mr. Shoe. You're gonna see me in the NASCAR hauler shortly enough. We're gonna take care of this like men.
Bristol's coming up next race. If I were you, Brady, I would be watching out.
we do go to Bristol, and tempers tend to flare at Bristol, so we'll see what happens there. Here's the other thing.
You
So
should be worried about Colin Bauer, first of all.
Colin Bauer gets the lucky dog. The problem is he's going to have to start at the tail end of the longest line as the lucky dog. So he'll really be starting behind 7 cars, and he's only going to have 3-4 laps to get it done. It's going to be a lot to ask.
If
we get more than one caution.
Yeah, if we get more than one caution, it's definitely going to make a difference here. But if I am anybody in between Colin Bauer and that number 1 position, I am afraid for my safety.
Bentley comes to get tires,
Yeah.
so does Bauer, but Roberts, Thomas, and Cadet do not.
Oh boy.
They stayed out,
Very interesting move from DJ Thomas there.
especially for DJ.
Oh boy. This is
It's a strange move.
DJ's been very consistent on
we'll
short
see.
runs.
We'll see, because last pit cycle he was running 5th or 6th position, and he came in the second time around to get an extra lap on the tires. So we'll see.
Yeah, he may
We'll
do
see.
that.
We'll see if he pits next time around.
I hope so. I really do, because
I hope so too.
this
There
would
is
be
no
the
way.
racing equivalent. This would be the racing equivalent of not giving Marshawn Lynch the ball on the 1-yard line. That's really what this would be.
We'll
That's what he
see
did
how
the
it
last
goes.
couple of cautions.
Yeah.
So.
Him
All
and
right.
DJ Roberts have been kind of on the same strategy, or
I'll see you, Grady.
different strategy.
I'll be there. You don't worry about it.
We've got issues happening.
Issues.
Brady, I will say this: if you're gonna pick a fight, be ready for a fight.
At least it's not
That's
Colin
all I'll
Bauer you're
say.
picking a fight with. To be
What?
fair, he is picking a good track. If he's wanting to square off against the one, the only Zach Camilla, it's DJ Thomas stays
doesn't pit.
out. Bristol is
So-
probably your best bet for that.
So DJ stayed out again.
Some would say that I'm a choker at Bristol. Some would say.
And some would say
I
the
think
wall
it's-
is his best friend.
I'm afraid it's more than some.
Some would say. Yeah.
Some would say, yeah. Oh, with 3 laps to go, the leader will be Rit Cadet.
Once again, out in front in that Ritz Chevrolet.
And tell you what, if Thomas gets a rough drive through 1 and 2 and holds up the 55 and the 15,
Good
I don't
luck.
know.
Joe.
We may have a race on our hands. TJ
It's-
Roberts has been
Yeah.
turning pretty consistent laps. on the
We're
mountain.
in for a good finish here.
Because I know who drives that 15, look for the first corner here to be 3 wide. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
If you can get there, for sure. We'll see. It really depends on the kind of start the 20 gets on the outside. He gets a bad start with only 3 laps to go.
Like I said, if you're in between,
Make things very, very interesting.
if you're in between Colin and that first place position, you're in danger at this point. We saw him do it at Daytona. I'm sure we'll see him do it here again. He is not afraid to jump out early and get a soaring start, pass by all these cars.
Pace car makes the left turn. We got 3 laps to go. Red Cadet and DJ Thomas bring us back to the green flag.
DJ
Bad start from the
Thomas
215, and here comes DJ. Now, how long can he hold that car out front? He's got to make it 3 laps.
He's going to have stiff challenges from both the 55 and the the 15. There we go.
Here comes the 15. Thomas blocks. Watch up top. There's the 15. About the 55 is sliding loose. What a save. He slides up the track and spins it. Several cars wrecking. Caution flag is out.
Oh, my.
Thomas is into the wall. Bentley is wrecked.
He looks like he may have gotten out of that with minor damage. I know he's kept that car up front and clean all day. If he's got a fast repair in the bank, now's the time to use it.
I'll give me a sec. Yeah, Colin, what's up? It's not my call. Does Colin have to wait for the green, or can he go as the leader?
We restart on green.
Green flags.
All right, I just conferred with them. Restarts are on green. Colin. He's not too happy about it. We'll say that.
Oh, of course he's not too happy about that. He knows there's some fast guys behind him. We got to make this a little bit even. He's been blowing everyone's doors off all day long. Consistency.
Yeah, until he blew the pit road entrance doors off and almost cost himself a victory.
Almost cost himself the race.
Now
We'll
here
see if that is out front. So Griffin Williams bypasses the pace car.
DJ Thomas finally coming in to get some fresh tires.
The lead lucky dog is going to be Jonathan Hammond.
Should be.
So,
who also spent a good time out front today. So
I'm going to say this, from what I've heard. DJ was given a black flag on the start because Ritt did not go.
From our looks, I believe it seems that Ritt had a bad start. I think that's one that we can probably forgive here.
Well, he's already on the pit lane. It's a little bit late for that now.
Now, what I also don't understand is that DJ Thomas was on the high side when this happened. So
yeah, that is very true.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. The only way I can think he would have gotten a penalty,
generally speaking, if not a passing under yellow.
The only thing I can think is that if he had gone before the leader in the restart zone, which is possible.
But even then, iRacing is very flexible with the outside line. I'm not exactly sure why, but it's almost difficult to get a black flag.
Either way, he's in the pits. He's having to serve it.
Well, he's out of the pits now.
Yeah, I believe that is a green flag penalty, so he'll have to bring it around and come in or face the disqualification.
Is it? He's got damage on that car anyway.
Yeah, he is pretty much out of it.
It's really a 4-car race now. Bauer, Roberts, Cadet, and Tyler Bentley. And it'll be a green-white checkered.
Our first one of the season.
Is it?
If I recall correctly, I believe it will be.
Yes, so. Yeah.
I think it is, yep.
So interesting thing here. Ritt, we know, didn't get a good start last time. He's going to be behind Colin. You've got the two consistently fast cars of TJ Roberts and Tyler Bentley starting on the outside. If Colin can't get some help down the backstretch or throw a clean block, he may be in trouble here.
It'll definitely be interesting to see with such a short time to go. If you're a guy like Roberts or Cadet, if you get out front this late in the race, all you got to do is try to stay out front for...
If I was a betting man, and I'm not, really, I would be willing to bet that there will be another caution.
It's possible. Stacking everybody up like this.
Stacking the field back up.
TJ's informing me that he did in fact pit on the last caution.
Didn't look like he did on my end. I didn't see him pit.
Lap,
I didn't.
Yeah, lap 174. We'll go to the pit stops here. Yes. He pitted a little bit after everybody else. He was still on about 10 lap old tires in comparison. He did pit on the previous one with everyone else, though.
All right. We get back to the white flag. The race is official. It'll be Bauer, Roberts, Cadet, Bentley, and Thomas, the top 5. Who's got what it takes to get it done? Field's in the hands of Bauer. They come down to the restart zone. Green flag. We're back racing. We got 2 to go. Good start for Bauer, and he is clear of both lines.
Yeah, it looks like TJ Roberts had a little bit of an issue there getting that car moving.
Down through 1 and 2. Thomas is there. I don't know if he's got the speed to win the race, but he's hanging with him right now. Cadet files through to 2nd. But it's all behind the leader, Colin Bauer, through 3 and 4. He'll see the white flag when he comes to the front straightaway. And car in the wall is Roberts.
Somebody just died.
Oh, yep. Jonathan Hammond has crashed. We did reach the white flag.
Thomas clears the 215. It's just not going to be enough.
2 corners to go.
A dominant performance. His first full race of the season. He'll see the checkered flag. Colin Bauer wins full pedal jacket at Charlotte.
Big victory for the 15. Especially after the penalty. What a job. What a drive.
It was a beautiful race.
Action-packed and total blast. And it's a good thing I didn't bet on another caution because I would have lost. So, look at that. These guys bring it down pit lane.
That's how we're going to end here.
Come on, Colin.
Burning it down. Colin Bauer.
Colin ran an
Not sure
absolutely beautiful race.
I'm not sure if he's in Discord. I'm going to try to get to him. See if we can get a word in with him. I think I've got 3 guys I want to interview for this one. I want to get, obviously, the winner. And I definitely want to get a word from Tyler Bentley after the late caution. And DJ Thomas, man. I think we got to hear from him. A controversial call. And it appears the 15 car is... Oh.
There it goes.
There it goes.
Burn it down until it goes up.
It lasted just long enough to make it to the end of the race. So let me see if we can find him. If not, we'll go get the other 2 real fast. Give me just a minute. Yeah, we'll do DJ first. I gotta move. I got him. I can move him down here. We're with DJ Thomas, 5th place finisher tonight. Wanted to get a word with you real quick because I wanted to know your thoughts on the penalty you were given there late in the going. Well, what did you think? Do you agree with the call? How did that affect your mindset there at the end of the race?
I don't get the call at all. I was on the top lane on fresh tires, and I know Rit did not pit. And so, obviously, he sped up as soon as the pace car went off. So we were going faster coming to the green. As soon as the green was thrown, we both went. But obviously, I had the better run and then I was given the penalty, and then obviously I lost it out of 4 coming around because I wasn't looking at the line I was running. I was trying to focus on what gave me the black. I don't see how I was given the penalty there.
It was
It
definitely
just didn't go.
It was definitely a tough call to watch. We definitely had our doubts about it as well. You still come away with a pretty good finish. You ran a really good race. So how do you go from here and get on to next week, especially as we go to Bristol?
I guess throw this one in the dumpster, and we just focus on next week. Is all I really got to say.
Hey, Bristol is one of your better tracks as we've seen before. I know you probably got a lot of confidence going into it. You had a lot of confidence going into this one. You're running great races out there, and I just want to say personally, all of us here, we're really proud to see the improvement that you've been going through, and it's great to see you out there. I know you didn't get the win today, but starting on pole, running a good race, being up there right at the end to finish in second. You did really good today.
Oh yeah, hell of a job, buddy.
I appreciate it. Just I don't know. We're gonna get them next week, hopefully. Like you said, Bristol's one of my better ones. It's one of the ones I guess I can pull. Rabbit out of the hat. We're gonna give it all, and we're gonna try our best to bring it the win.
I look forward to being on track with you next week, DJ. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys, and hope the race was good for everybody out there watching.
So that's DJ Thomas, our 5th place finisher this evening. Some frustration there at the end, but he came away with a good run. And it's good to hear that he is ready to move on to Bristol. Next guy I want to get in here is our runner-up tonight, Tyler Bentley. You can't really say enough about the race he ran. It's kind of similar to how Braden Black did last week when he got close a few times to running down our eventual winner, Steve Korsak. So I definitely want to get Tyler's opinion of the race, and we'll see if we can get him in here real fast. Second place finisher, Tyler Bentley. We got you in the broadcast booth. Another strong run. It looked like you had that one in the bag when that caution came out. What ran through your head there?
Oh, it was crazy. I was just praying for no caution, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, all right, when's the caution gonna come out? Because I had the strategy call there, and I'm like, yeah, if I can just run 10 laps here, I'll be fine. But you know how that goes.
For sure, definitely. Well, we saw you making moves there on the last restart. Did you have any hope coming to the green flag that you were going to be able to make enough moves to get up to the 15 there?
Yeah, really I was, but the 11 on the restart did not get a very good restart, and of course I was trapped behind him, so I didn't want to run him over per se. So with him not getting the best restart, it kind of put me behind, but I'm happy with the finish today for sure.
Well, we head to Bristol next week. It's our first short track on the schedule. How are you feeling? How are you thinking? How are you trying to go about it going into next week?
I mean, I know that short tracks can be pretty hectic, and there was some aggressive moves this evening, and hopefully it doesn't get too wild at Bristol. But I've tried to keep it clean, but that may not be possible there. I love short tracks, so I'm excited to go there next week.
For sure. That's second place finisher, Tyler Bentley. Another strong run for him tonight. Tyler, thanks for your time, and go get ready for next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I don't know if we're going to get the winner. Colin's a bit sporadic, so.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get a hold of Colin to get him in here into the Discord and
In any case, if you want to bring Rid up.
Yeah.
What's the
Was
third place
that,
finisher?
Zach? Was that?
Bring up Rit Cadet.
Where did he finish again?
Third.
Third place finisher, Rit Cadet. Rit, a really strong run for you tonight. It looks like a couple of times it looked like you maybe had the ultimate chance to pull it into victory lane, but still a strong run regardless. How did you go about it tonight?
Oh, just give and take early on. Is pacing in the back, biding my time. It was a long race.
That's definitely for sure, and you got through a lot of the incidents to get up front late in that race. Coming through to the last restart, what was your plan to try to get back to the front, or specifically the second to last restart? How are you going to try to beat the guys that have been kind of up front all day?
I was just going to ride behind him, just wait for something to happen. That's it.
Good strategy. Good strategy. Well, you finished third tonight. We head to Bristol next week. It's our first short track on the schedule. So, how are you going to attempt to tackle Bristol as we go there for the first time this year?
Just plan on running a lot of laps by myself out there. Practice, right?
For sure, for sure. That's third place finisher Rick Cadet. We thank you for your time, and we will see you next week in Bristol.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Peyton, Dawson. Thanks for putting it on.
Hey, no problem. We're glad to see you here, and we're always glad to have you in our races.
Overall, another great race. A little bit smaller field than usual, but didn't seem to take away from the action at all.
Of course
Definitely
not.
there at the end.
And heading into next week, we're going to see maybe we've already had a little bit of chattiness out of some of the guys out there. We saw a little bit of on the track battling with DJ throwing some early blocks, Brady Shue and Colin Bauer getting into it a little bit there, and maybe a couple other guys who weren't too happy with each other. It'll be interesting to see if this stuff carries over into the next race, especially at Bristol. It's a short track. It's hard to get away from someone who's really trying to chase you down.
Definitely, I'm definitely excited for that one. I know a lot of these guys that are going to be on track are excited for that one.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to turn about 2,000 practice laps this week over at Bristol, and then hopefully not clap the field. We'll see what happens.
2,000 laps is a lot.
Yeah, it's a half mile.
Hey, practice is
four races.
Well, unless you're blind, of course, then you can't really.
No.
Well, yeah, I mean, same schedule as this week for next week as per the usual.
Yeah, next week we'll be bringing you back qualifying as usual. We do broadcast the Sweatona races hosted by Lima and Corsic. It's what took up our qualifying slot for this week. Same thing as our normal schedule. We'll be returning until next month. Whenever we get the race figured out for them, we'll let everybody know as it gets closer. Anybody who's interested in maybe joining the race can hop into that. But I think that's all we have for now. We're not able to get a hold of Colin tonight, so.
That's all I've got. Another great race, and I can't wait to be back with everybody next week in Bristol.
Yep, and this is the greatest to ever do it. Signing off. We'll see you guys next week.
Everybody, have a great night.